different when this BD motor I was with, bro. It hit different. So now we in the club, bro, on phone up doing us on phone up. Motor in there, throwing up the trays. Do your homework on throwing up the trays with one hand and cracking them with the other, like this. It hit different.
What does that mean?
That mean you BD, but you BDK, bro. It hit different.
Now to hit your man, though, too.
Yeah, I'm finna, man, shit, I'm straight, G. I'm straight, G. I got $7,000, $8,000 worth of clothes on, G. I'm good, G. I got a little nice something, you know? I'm good, G.
Yeah, make sure you know what I'm saying, the same about that, folks. You gotta make sure
I'm on a different level. I'm on some whole
shit.
G, I got some whole other shit going on, G. I'm on a different level, G. I mastered this shit, G. I'm telling you, G. I mastered this shit. I don't pop yours, G, so I'm gonna die, G. Oh, yeah.
All right, good day. I'm gonna have DJ you give me your number.
All right.
Let's see you take a picture at the end, folks.
You know that.
Alright y'all, now right now everyone is wondering what transpired within Jarro City Little Mikey's case, where it said that no ops did anything to him, but instead it was one of his own affiliates. And I emphasize affiliates because to say friend is kind of an insult, especially knowing that a quote-unquote friend took his life. Friends wouldn't do that to another friend, so therefore yes, they knew each other, but they were just affiliates. Now to understand why this may have happened to him, you have to understand the hood that he comes from and the hood that he reps. And also understand that this isn't the first time they've been accused of not only backdooring each other, but taking each other's lives, period. There's been women such as Ambry, who was accused of playing both sides and backdooring her own guys, even though it hasn't been 100% confirmed to the public. But then you also have 051 Melly himself, the Grim Reaper, who was also accused of backdooring some of his own guys from his own friend Jarro City Motor, which happens to be a rumor because we don't know how true it is, but there is speculation all over social media. Now down to the most debated discussion, which happened to be STL's own Get Right. Now whether Melly claimed these hoods or not, he was affiliated with them and was cool with some of the guys, so at the end of the day, he is well a part of it. So this type of behavior have been lingering within that hood for some time now, along with guys who have been set tripping, who were once BDs turned GDs and GDs turned BDs. But with the backdoor culture being as rampant as it is today, it's like guys don't even care to hide it anymore. I'm not saying Little Mikey was an angel, because it's said that he was trying to bully some of the guys and they weren't having it. But then others say he wasn't bullying, he was just passionate about where he was from and held guys accountable for what they were doing if he didn't like it or if he felt it was wrong. Now shout out to Traplo Ross. We're going to get into the video he did based on Jarro City and guys from there where some may be familiar with and some may not, but just to get you hip to the same environment that claimed the life of Jarro City, Little Mikey. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, like and hype the video so we can get into the algorithm, and if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
Jarro City is another set that's beefing with 600, who have a complex makeup but have still been largely unified behind the BDK movement. Now the name Jarro honours their member who was killed in 2005, real name Jarvis Smith, before uniting under the name Jarro City, this hood having several smaller sets such as ABM, COB, BSG, Darkside, and Outlaws. These sets were made up of both GDs and BDs, with some of the sets repping one or the other, whilst others having members from both. Jarro City is also close to a set called No Law or Chieftown, who are primarily black P stones. Therefore, there are also Jarro City members who rep stones. Now, some of the most known and important—
Yo, you know what's funny, right? As y'all listen to him, y'all probably think that, you know, he knows all this. Like, if you didn't know the drill culture, you probably would think he knew all this because he was around it. Understand, when these guys be calling bloggers snitches and bloggers this and that, literally everything he's telling you in this video, he done learned from social media. Ain't that crazy? Everything he done learned and everything he's telling you in this video, as he break it down detail for detail, he learned all this by being on social media. Isn't that crazy?
People to come out of Jarro City for this story are Dome, who was an older and well-respected member in the streets, Tutu, a younger generation shooter, everyone's favourite new Chiracian, the Whoop Man himself, FYBJ Main, and if you did your homework you would know that he was in fact originally a BD, hailing from the Randolph Towers, also known as the Castle, an infamous BD stronghold where many of the 600 members also grew up in their first years before it was demolished.
Now, if y'all know anything about that, right, the Calumet buildings, a lot of these guys, and this is why it's crazy, because a lot of them who are like into it with each other, they heavily beefing, they this and that, when I see you, I'm gonna do this. A lot of them grew up with each other. Believe it or not, a lot of them went to school with each other. A lot of them once was friends with each other. Matter of fact, a lot of them still have parents that are very, very close friends with each other. And somehow their children want to unalive each other. A lot of them was BDs before GDs. A lot of them was GDs before BDs. A lot of them are cordial where they know both sides and some of them may play both sides. This is why that whole culture is very strange in a sense to where if a guy did want to backdoor you or do anything, he probably can because he knows you.
For example, FYBJ Main was actually pictured together with infamous 600 member C-Day when they were just toddlers. You've also got FBG Butter, an infamous Chicago drill character who's been making a successful comeback in recent years through a string of highly entertaining interviews despite long-standing legal problems that even seemingly forced him to be a witness in the FBG Duck murder trial. Another famous Jarro.
Now, a lot of people always say that he was forced. They can't force you to do anything unless you agree, because I don't know, they probably told him he was subpoenaed to do it. He could have took the jail time, but you know what that comes from? That comes from saying too much on social media and letting it be known that you know what you know. He would have never got subpoenaed if they didn't think that he knew what he knew about that case with FBG Duck and all. So that's why he got subpoenaed. That's why he had to testify and do whatever he did, which is still crazy to this day, but free butter.
Member is Mota, who is originally from a BD set called the Brain Dead Noodle Knockers, where brain dead in essence refers to the same idea of someone being insane, essentially willing to beef with their own set of BDs.
BD motor, it hit different when it's BD motor I was with, bro. It hit different. So now we in the club, bro, on phone up doing us on phone up, motor in there, throwing up the trays. Do your homework on throwing up the trays with one hand and cracking them with the other, like this. It hit different.
What does that mean?
That mean you BD, but you BDK, bro. It hit different, bro.
This time,
you see how crazy that is? And this is why a lot of backdoor situations happen. Just like what he said, he's throwing up BD, but he's also cracking it. If I'm not mistaken, these are what they call insane gang members. So whenever you hear them say, yo, I'm BD insane or I'm insane BD, that means, yeah, I'm BD, but I'm also willing to bang on a BD if I have to or if I want to. That was the same thing with Melly, 051 Melly. He was damn near nothing because he didn't have no problem doing anything to anybody, whether you was a part of his group or with him or not. This is what they call insane, and this is why you have a lot of guys who end up getting backdoored or set up by somebody they was close with.
Was actually used in early drill culture, popularized particularly by Chief Keef's Glow Gang member Trey Savage, who belonged to a brain-dead set called MTV 079. As explained by FYBJ Main, Mota used to in fact hang out with guys like Lil Durk before the gang war popped off, when he actually ended up taking the opposite side.
Last time I seen Lil Durk, folks, Lil Durk was with Mota, bro. Long live Jarro City Mota, bro. It hit different when Durk was with Jarro City Mota.
You've also got Booby, who was a well-known girl in the Washington Park and Woodlawn area. Although Booby was affiliated with Jarro City, it didn't stop guys from rival sets getting romantic with her, particularly Lil Boo from 600. Booby was well-liked all around the Woodlawn and Washington Park neighborhoods, but she also had many enemies, and she was considered to be somebody who would apparently set up ops for Jarro City.
You know, Booby was a real loud, like Foden was calling her a setup queen. She was like a top op, like top female op, trying to kill her. Niggas was out here looking for Booby, folks. And we steady telling Blue Boo slow ass, like, folks, you want to be with her when looking for her, find her, folks? Then, well, when looking for her when they find her, what you gonna do? You gonna smoke a motherfucker, Booby? Bro, this man was dead ass, like, he loved her. He went backdooring Booby. He wouldn't even try to get Booby to backdoor none of the ops. That's how much he loved her. He just wanted her to love. They just wanted to love each other.
And Booby was also not a stranger to fighting other girls in the neighborhood, as she would seemingly get into fights for having such a broad friend circle. In one old video, Booby can actually be seen beating up a girl for allegedly disrespecting Hookah. However, Booby herself was allegedly killed by accident in 2015 during a drunken shootout incident at a party, but their killer has never been caught. After her death, someone would post from her Twitter account saying how Booby had even been pregnant with her second child, and implying that people know who killed her, but wouldn't come forward. You've also got...
Now, you know what's crazy? A lot of that happens in Chicago, where everybody's seen exactly who did what, but the problem is nobody want to be retaliated against. Nobody want to be on the other end of that get back. So yeah, they seen who did it, but nobody's going to tell you who did it. Just like the whole situation with 051 Melly. He was shot at a party live and direct, and not one person at that party said they witnessed what they seen. Not one person went to the cops and said, yo, X, Y, and Z did it. Now, it came out later on who did it because of social media back and forth and bullcrap like that. But when it comes to somebody speaking to the police, nobody went to the police.
Lil Ho, who was a real Jarro City OG, but who would unfortunately end up losing his life.
Wait. Listen, rest in peace. That caught me off guard. What his name is?
You've also got Lil Ho, who was a real Jarro City OG, but who would unfortunately end up losing his life during the events of this story after already reaching the age of 44. And lastly, one of Jarro's members by the name of Potty, real name Rodney King, was shot and killed in 2008, with a rumor being that the shooter was actually a prominent member of 600, D-Thang, a major catalyst in the war between these groups, which we'll discuss in more detail later. But anyway, outside of the streets, Jarro City also had members who made music, unsurprisingly dissing their ops and mocking the deceased. For example, despite growing up with many members of 600, FYB J-Mane has a long history of dissing 600 and their affiliates in his music, including his song 300 Dead Ops. J-Mane can be heard saying he's 600K and claiming he's smoking on Waldo and T-Roy, as well as dissing other dead people and O-Block.
Now, this is why, right? When we used to do videos about J-Mane pushing peace and the whole situation that transpired when he tried to go to O-Block. And a lot of people say, oh, you know, they're just being young-minded or they're being foolish. They don't know how to evolve. Here's what y'all don't understand. This man literally, if y'all know anything about this video, this man went to the grave. He went to a cemetery, a whole cemetery, and sat there and dissed these guys' loved ones. These guys got family that still love them that had to watch that. These guys got friends. These guys got people that's really about them that had to watch J-Mane go to a whole cemetery and sit there and diss their deceased loved ones and taunt, right? And dance and make all these funny little disses. Smoking on Waldo, T-Roy. These are HK. These are members who are really stand-up members who aren't here anymore that had a lot of love. So, like I said, I do understand when he was trying to push peace, but I also understand the people that's not over it. I'm surprised he made it out the way he did, but he's smart. He didn't try to stay there. He didn't try to fight. He said, all right, it's time to go, and rightfully so. But shout out to him for at least trying.
Jarro City's main territory has been around 62nd and Vernon, but they virtually share the same territory with a set called Taekwon World, who can be seen as the younger generation of Jarro City. This entire territory roughly covers the area between the 63rd and 60th streets from King Drive to St. Lawrence. Called Taekwon World, this is a set of primarily gangster disciples and black pea stones, with the set being named after a 13-year-old Taekwon Tyler, a teenager affiliated with members of Jarro City, who was killed in 2012 when a Jarro member who was targeting members of STL due to...
Do y'all see that? 13 years old. 13 years old. I don't even gotta say nothing. It's self-explanatory.
An earlier fight at a party accidentally shot Tyler and killed him. Despite this tragic event, Jarro City and Taekwon World remained very close and continued to affiliate with STL, with all three staying united in the war against the BD sets like 600, O-Block, and Lamron. Some of the best known members of this crew include TB, real name Terry Barry, who is believed to have killed King Von's best friend T-Roy from O-Block in 2017, and besides being infamous for his activities in the streets, TB also released several songs as a rapper, with one song being made with another member called Poppy, a track titled Taekwon World, which now sits at almost 3 million views on YouTube. And the song begins with TB sternly making it known that he's a 600 killer, a Front Street killer, and a Savage Squad killer, with that being another Front Street affiliated set named in honor of Fredo Santana's Savage Squad record label, and being an O-Block killer. Other prominent members of Taekwon World include Poppy, who was gunned down in a brutal assassination while at work, allegedly by members of O-Block as part of their Get Back campaign after T-Roy's murder in 2017.
I'm not gonna lie, that was one of the worst, not one of the worst when it comes to like how it was done, but just the fact that this man couldn't even go to work. And I don't know if maybe he thought it was a good idea to be that deep into the streets and think that he was able to go to work peacefully. But it is just the fact that this man was trying to go to work and couldn't do that. But to be honest with you, I'm sure he probably knew that this would come. He probably didn't think that it was going to come the way it did. Because you can't be in the public eye knowing you either dissing ops or got something to do with one of the ops being deceased, and think that nobody's going to catch you out there, right? Look at THF Beizhu. We don't even know what happened. We just hear that this man was at a store for, I guess, a little too long, and they ran down on him. So imagine working at a store where it's a possibility that anybody could see you, and you don't know who's who. It could be a cousin of a deceased op. It could be a friend. It could be a mother. It could be anybody. You never know, but you at work, and you got to be there every single day.
Also got Richie Jerk, who was the younger brother of Billionaire Black, known as both a rapper and a shooter, until he was unfortunately killed in 2020 by unknown assailants. And then there's Big V, and of course, you've got the gang most infamous for their beef with O-Block, STL EBT, which is a mixture of two primarily gangster disciple sets that have merged. STL, which refers to the St. Lawrence Avenue, and has also been referred to as the St. Lawrence Boys, and EBT, which refers to Eberhard Avenue. More specifically, the main spots of these sets are located around 63rd and St. Lawrence and 64th and Eberhard, with both sets closely linked up and often united as one. As seen in an old clip from an infamous STL member KI, where she claims, "I'm from STL, but I'd be posted on EBT."
Like, we be like, I just get motherfuckers. These EBT right here, man. I'm from them. Yeah. Squad shit, bitch.
I'm from STL, but I be posted on EBT.
Hey, the realest dirt, man. You already know free C-ball.
Squad.
However, there are also some differences. For example, the STL side also goes by Tukaville to honour their fallen member Tuka, a 15-year-old gangster disciple from the area whose murder would be mocked relentlessly in music from the likes of Chief Keef, King Von, and Lil Durk. Within STL, there is also FBG, or the Flyboy Gang, a group of guys who were particularly interested in rapping. STL key members include KI, who was infamous in the streets of Chicago for being a female shooter, a real rarity in the male-dominated gang wars of Chicago. Another prominent member known for their gunplay was Lil B, who is often mentioned as being one of the biggest savages in drill history. According to these stories, Lil B would even use tactics like walking his dog just to get close enough to his ops to shoot at them.
They say that Little B was one of the craziest ops known to O Block, and here's why. They said Little B sometimes would dress up in wigs, put on female clothes, just to get his eye. See, he was tactical, he was surgical with it. He wasn't just your typical young dude where he'd run up, try to catch you. No. They said sometimes he would even dress looking homeless to try to catch his eye. I ain't gonna lie, man. If he would have put his abilities into something a little more constructive, he probably would have been something. Because to have that type of brain, young, to do exactly what he was doing is crazy.
These ops was Ocho Munna from O Block, who would tell the story of Lil B almost killing him in an interview years later.
Had a run-in with somebody named Lil B or something, and some crazy happened.
Some went down, man.
What was it, like a shootout? Like what?
Yeah.
What was it?
We was on 63rd. It was me, and one of my homies, one of my old homies who was snitching on one of my homies. And we on 63rd. You know, we used to try to steal iPhone. We used to be that we trying to get our high. We out pulling the 24. We out there like 7 in the morning.
Damn, yo, just think, right? Remember back in the days that was a thing, trying to steal iPhones? It was a time to where you literally sat in a place where you know it was heavily populated, whether it was with tourists or just people that look green. Fast forward to now, everybody got their phones in their hands, some not even paying attention and on it. Do you know how easy it would have been if this was back in the days to take phones easily? But just think now, it's all type of things going on where everybody making money.
A motherfucker come with a fat, I mean, he had a dog. A had a dog. Like, what this with the dog? We instantly, I got a Glory Boy sweater on. This popping. We get on his, where you from? Woo. He woo, y'all know my uncle woo from the his name such and such. I'm like, man, you know, he acting like he on the phone. He woo. Y'all see my uncle? We like, no, you feel me? But we all like standing like it's my homie right here, then I'm in the middle, then this other buddy. And he on the phone. Long story short, this pulled his pipe out and shot my homie in his jaw. Like, boom. But I guess he tried to shoot my homie in his head. Damn. So he shot my homie like, boom. My homie took off like, phew, like he didn't even get shot.
Crazy.
If I'm lying down on my son's soul, up there in my face on my son, and the gun jammed,
Boss Trell, aka BT.
You know what that is? That's called a guardian angel. I got a cousin, no lie. He's Crip. He was in a gang little fight or whatever the case may be. A guy pulled out a shotgun, shot his friend, took the shotgun, put it to his head, and then shot it. And it didn't, I guess it jammed. I don't know what it did, but to this day, I always think when I hear stories like that, you got a different type of angel that's following you, right? You got a different type of guidance. You got a different type of discernment. You got a different type of everything to go through something like that where you literally was seconds away from losing your life. I ain't gonna lie, at a point like that, I'm staying in the house.
Also a known shooter from this area, who would unfortunately end up losing his life early in the war in 2012 under mysterious circumstances far away from his hood. As mentioned, STL EBT also has many members that are rappers known for repping their Flyboy gang movement, better known as simply FBG. The most known out of these is of course the late great rapper FBG Duck.
Now hold on, before we continue, because Boss Trail actually has a very, very good story. And I don't mean good as in, you know, shooting or whatever the case may be, but he wasn't like the typical just drill guy that was out there shooting or whatever. He actually had a brain. And not to mention, here's how crazy Chicago is. This man was literally trying to leave Chicago. I think he was either a day before he was about to leave, he was shot and unalive, and he had the bus ticket in his pocket. The same bus ticket that he was using to leave Chicago was in his pocket at the time of his death. That's crazy. So when people say, yo, Chicago is like a death trap, I mean, maybe so.
Other members include his brother FBG. One out of these is of course the late great rapper FBG Duck, and other members include his brother FBG Brick, as well as Billionaire Black, who is associated with both STL and Jarro City. There's Wooski, FBG Dutchy, FBG Young, FBG Cash, and as already mentioned, FBG Butter from Jarro City. FBG have made numerous songs aimed at O-Block or Wick City, as well as 600 or Brick City, dating all the way back to 2011 at the very beginning of the drill movement. And their beef in music would seemingly begin with E-Day from 600 dropping his song and first music video, What Up, in April 2011, where he appears to take shots at somebody from the other side, as well as shouting out his home sets, Brick City, Wig City, and 600. Then, later that same month, FBG Duck would drop his first song and music video called While Out. Now, numerous fallen members of the gang can be seen in the video, such as Modell, Dale, Tutu, KI, Boss Trell, and Taekwon. And once again, the track includes lyrics casting doubt on E-Day's reputation in the streets. Then in May, E-Day would drop a music video and a song called F the Other Side, which begins with E-Day listening to two different songs, Stupid Loud by 50 Shots from Jarro, together with Billionaire Black, and While Out by Duck. The song Stupid Loud has since seemingly disappeared from the internet, but from E-Day's video, we can hear Billionaire Black in the back rapping lyrics, "You sneak dissing, I ain't gonna say your name, I ain't trying to give you airtime, you want the fame, 05 what? 45 bust that, their 05 duck, followed by gun noises. It would seemingly include a snippet of Billionaire Black rapping about how he shoots up their block. While 600 would take 60th Street to be their main street to claim, Brick City at the time was known to rep the 59th Street, and clearly, E-Day took both Billionaire and Duck to diss him. Billionaire Black and Duck were dropping lyrics that seemingly indicated that they had been shooting up 600's blocks. And so E-Day would reply with a much more pointed diss towards Billionaire Black and Duck, as well as other sets like MOB. However, as Billionaire Black would later explain in an interview, apparently E-Day didn't even realise that Billionaire's beef wasn't with Brick City, but actually 051, who he'd already been beefing with a long time, because he had apparently lived in the low end and repped the set Welch World, which used to go by the name So Icy, as lyrics in 051 Lil Mark's 2011 song Zico World would show.
The song, I say some 05 what? 45 bus, bet 45 duck, don't, like that, boom. The song I was talking about, Young Money, everybody know I've been to a 05 one my whole life, you feel me? Like, this sucking dead truck driving fat gonna sit here and get the trolling, go home, make a video, do a diss song off a Lil Wayne beat, bro. And in the video, he played my video saying 05 what? 45 duck. I said, oh, this really dissing me. Then he played a song Duck did called Wild Out. This is Duck first song. Duck actually dissing the out of this. He said that we ain't drilling like we drilling. Is you serious? Going on like Duck went on his first song out. You feel me? Like, boom. Duck dissing you for real. You mad cause I did a song from over here. And you want some clout cause I'm buzzing. About 20 now, when we just turned, you feel me? He go shoot a video, play my video on the front, play the video, and make his little diss song. Billion Black, Mr. Black, I dump it fat. I ain't following he was talking this you feel me? Like,
You know his lyrics.
I know this man.
Yeah, let me tell you, these guys, man, to know them and to understand them is kind of crazy. Because as much as they may know each other lyrics, laugh about each other, laugh about things that really went down where blood was shed, these guys are really enemies. The craziest part about it all is these guys really be enemies over music. Like I'm talking about really ready to unalive each other or do so when they see each other, or because of music, or because they're from a certain block. Crazy.
Nevertheless, the beefing on tracks was now fully on, and only a few days later, Billionaire Black and Duck would release the music video for their song E-Day Is You Serious, going at E-Day directly, as well as more disses towards Brick City and 600 members like Manny and Booker. Then in June, Duck would drop a song and music video for his track Freestyle, which begins with a clip where STL and MOB members are together dissing Brick City.
And that shit Brick City, man. That's almost all.
That was followed in July by Dutchy and Young, or DJ and Mello as they would go by at the time, who would put out a video for the song called Hitter Music, where they would diss both Wick City and Brick City. This would be followed by another FBG group track called F the Ops, where Duck and Dutchy would both diss Brick City as well as Wick City and TYMB. FBG Duck, who is one of the most popular artists in Chicago drill history, with several of his songs in the tens of millions of streams, has since continued dissing 600 throughout his career, including in his popular songs Exposing Me remix.
Now y'all see that, right? So when y'all ask why a lot of these guys be dissing, or when y'all hear me say that a lot of these guys wouldn't be where they are or who they are if they didn't diss because people wouldn't pay attention, well, this is why. And I'm not talking about FBG Duck. I'm not trying to single him out. I'm just talking about in general. To me, honestly, FBG Duck had more potential than just dissing in the first place. He actually has songs where he wasn't dissing that's good, right? So I'm not singling him out. I'm just talking about in general. Y'all know drama and controversy make the world go round. Everybody loves drama. So what happens is these guys feed off that. They put it out. Not to mention it makes them money. So how are you going to tell somebody to stop something that's making them money? You hear Billionaire Black say that his label told him, his own music label told him, keep dissing your ops. You see what I'm saying? So it's deeper than just what people think. Yeah, you dissing the ops, but it becomes even more crazier when you get paid for it. How do you stop then? The only problem is now when you're dissing your ops, now you actually got to see them. Real things actually end up happening. Look, Exposing Me remix got 53 million views, right? Dead B Words got 42 million views. So it's crazy, man, but that's how it is. That's the cycle of the dissing in the drill culture.
And Wooski, who is known primarily as a shooter, would also release one of the most disrespectful songs in Chicago drill history with his Computers remix in 2018, where he disses numerous 600 members, including Lil Steve, E-Day, D-Thang, Lil Boo, L.A. Capone, and Baldy. Now, all of this paints a picture of a complicated web of gangs and alliances. Chicago is a complicated city, and for 600, navigating these alliances would be equally complicated and more dangerous, because moving around the city, you never know who might be working with your ops to get you killed. And as we'll learn in this story, many people have ended up caught off guard, losing their lives as a result of devious moves by their many enemies. So now you know the hoods, the gangs, and the key players in the story, it's time to dive deep in the series of events that unfolded, making this one of the bloodiest gang wars Chicago has ever seen.
Alright, so now that y'all understand the environment that these guys are in, the people that came before Little Mikey, the people that's still there, or the ones that were deceased, you gotta understand why things happen the way they happen. You may say, oh, well, he got shot by his friend, oh, you know, that's messed up. But no, a lot of these things been happening. A lot of violence, a lot of dangerous guys come from these parts. Some people saying, oh, well, Little Mikey ain't learned his lesson. You know why? Because by the time he came home, it was kind of dead, like y'all see Little J told him. It's a lot of backdoor activity going on. So where back in the day, somebody might be mad at you, and they probably distance themselves, or y'all might fight, and that's it. No. These days, nobody's fighting. These days, your own friend is liable to take your life if he's mad enough, because he think you might come back and do something to him, and he don't want to risk it. So it's a lot going on, man. I just wanted y'all to see the environment in which these guys come from, so you can understand the behavior instead of just being quick to judge. And it's crazy. So make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out. Are you tired of a bunch of social media gurus promising you results with their course, but all they do is take a bunch of information off YouTube and Google, then sell it to you? Well, look no further. Our YouTube Tips and Tricks Masterclass course comes equipped with SEO tips and tricks, along with methods we use to growth hack our YouTube channel. It also includes step-by-step ways to publish your video before uploading to guarantee a great SEO score, therefore your videos can rank and be shown to a bigger audience. Views and subscribers don't come by luck, and just how YouTube have an algorithm, you should have one as well that can guarantee you results. We doing websites and softwares we personally use to generate money creating Faces YouTube channels. If you also would like to skip the process and just buy other pre-built accounts, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, we also threw that in there for you too. We went through trial and error, so you don't have to. Click the link in the description or the comments and get started today.